So I heard inclusivity is trending these days, so I thought I might as well try it. Just kidding, but actually not really, in the sense that this video, it can be helpful for anyone. It can be helpful if you're a student, if you're a mom, if you're a woman in her 30s, in your 40s, if you have kids, if you don't have kids, if you're part of some sort of group or society that you don't feel like you fit in. Because to be honest, hate, discrimination, judgment, and the occasional bombastic side eye, it's something that everyone experiences at some point in their lives. Of course, I'm not claiming to be an expert, but to be honest, as someone who deals with criticism day in and day out, as it comes with the whole I'm making a living out of social media thing, I can confidently say that I have reached a place of I don't care that is too peaceful not to share. Okay, so here are my thoughts. Thought number one. I personally channel my inner empathy by feeling sorry for people who are so hurt and burdened that they think that the only way they could ever feel empowered and in control and good about themselves is to make other people feel bad about themselves and try to traumatize other people and make them feel insecure or make them feel bad in any way. I know that everyone says don't take things personally, and I honestly know that this is so difficult, especially if you're someone that is naturally a little bit more sensitive. But oh my God, listen to me, it is not about you. Because what person in their right mind that is in a happy place with themselves and their lives would take the time and the energy to go out of the way to say something rude or something hurtful about somebody else? I mean, I don't know about you, but if I see a person that is different than me, or a person that has opinions that are different than mine, and maybe those opinions are even offending to me, I won't stop and tell them, hey, you're speaking absolute bollocks. Like, I won't even do that, because I am so confident in my own truth and in my own reality and in my own beliefs that I don't care about you seeing my truth. I don't care about changing your point of view about the world and my life. I'm fine as I am. But not ever, not in a million years would I be like, oh, let me go offend this person real quick. Like, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Moral of the story, it's not about you. It's about them and the things they couldn't go after, and the things that they don't have, and the things that they cannot deal with, and the trauma they carry, and the things that they've heard when they were growing up, and the dreams that they never went after because they were too scared, and now you're going after that dream that they never had the courage to go after. It is just small people trying to talk their way into being big. And now you might be thinking, okay, but how do I deal with those people because they still try to get to me? And the answer is with the appropriate sense of superiority that you are entitled to feel in these situations. Personally, sometimes I like to think, what would a royal do in my position? And 9 out of 10 times, if not 10 out of 10 times, the answer is not pay them any attention whatsoever. Do not acknowledge these people. Just reply to them something like, oh, thank you for letting me know. Even if they say something super mean, like you're ugly or you are stupid or whatever, even if they're spreading rumors about you at your workplace, if they're commenting hateful things on your posts on social media, just kill them with kindness. Just reply something, oh, thanks, honey. Oh, okay. Or thank you for letting me know. Because not seeing you upset, not getting into that fight and into that upset state that they're trying to put you in literally kills the game for them. Don't acknowledge them whatsoever. It's not about you, it's about them. Thought number 2, being different is not a disadvantage, even though it might look and feel like it sometimes. I mean, I'm sorry to be the one who says it, but fitting in is totally overrated. So many times we have this sort of mindset that we say, oh, I'm a woman, that's why I'm being discriminated against. Or, oh, I don't like doing the things that people in my age do, or I don't have the life that people in my age have, and so I don't fit in. I wish I was prettier, I was richer, I was thinner, I was whatever, and then I could finally be happy. Honey, You don't have a situation problem. You have a mindset problem. The million ways in which you are different from other people doesn't make you any less. It actually gives you an opportunity. You just refuse to see it because you insist on focusing the things that are supposedly not the way you want them to be. I'll give you an example. Personally, I was never really popular. I was heavily struggling to fit in and make friends, which by the way, I still do. I didn't want the same things that people in my age did. And especially during university and school, I was just feeling so left out because I felt like I was so different and I didn't enjoy the same things as people in my age. And so I kept thinking that like, oh, if only I was different, then I could also enjoy university the way other people did, or I could have more friends and like have fun and do all these things that everybody else was doing. But at the end of the day, the fact that I didn't want those things, the fact that, yes, I didn't have so many friends and I didn't enjoy clubbing, it actually meant that I had so much time to enjoy all my studies, which I actually loved, and get good grades and manage to later on have a career that none of my peers did. And yes, maybe I didn't spend my entire university years just doing the whole like young and crazy clubbing, drinking and enjoy life thing. But the time that everybody else was like clubbing their 20s away, I was actually too busy reading books and acquiring skills that people nowadays pay me for. And I will take it even a step further. So many times when I go in social media and I try to talk about, like being your authentic self and accepting yourself and just leveraging everything that you are for your own benefit, people so many times tell me, oh, but it's easy for you because you come from money, or but it's easy for you because you are like this, you have that, you have the lifestyle, you look like this. And listen to me, I get it. There are several privileges with several things, but do you know how many people went from making absolutely zero to making 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 a month by sharing their very normal, chaotic, full of mess life on social media? And they managed to do that because they are extremely relatable. So many times where we see a disadvantage, somebody else sees an opportunity. Do you know how many people, they leverage the fact that they are part of some minority or that they are somehow different from everybody else in order to get that job, to take that opportunity, to do that project, and they actually made it because they used exactly the thing that makes them different, and that so many times is the reason that other people discriminate against them or they are being hateful towards them. We naturally tend to assume that everybody else has it easier than us, and in some cases it is true, but at the end of the day, there's either people who are go-getters or people who are complainers. Moral of the story is that your uniqueness is actually your golden ticket, and if your uniqueness is at the moment the reason why you're receiving all this hate and all this judgment and all this discrimination, that doesn't make you somehow problematic. It just means that you haven't found your people yet, and that once you do, this is actually what's going to make you have an extraordinary life compared to all those other people that are just basic. Learn to leverage what makes you you, instead of trying to think of all the million ways in which you could get rid of that thing or hide it, because then you're gonna have an easier, happier life. It just isn't true. Number 3, why does it matter? Why does it matter what somebody else has to say about us? I remember the first time someone commented something mean on one of my posts, and I randomly mentioned it to my dad, and as I was describing the whole situation with so much passion and like so much, I was just upset. I remember my dad just casually replying to me, "So what?" And it literally hit me. Why does it matter that some random person that took a post on social media or a 30 minutes conversation or 4 or 5 visits to our house and generalize that in order to deduct a random conclusion about our lives? Why does it matter what that person has to say? Because what they have to say is not just inaccurate, but is also purely irrelevant. Because who exactly are you to me? Someone who loves me and has my best interest at heart? No. God? No. My oxygen? No. Great. So with respect or absolute lack of it, I will just continue living my life the way I want, and I will prioritize my opinions about my life, and I will keep believing and living by my own truth compared to your random, inaccurate, irrelevant thoughts about me, my life, and my existence. Because last time I checked, your unsolicited opinion carries no weight, no relevance, and no benefit for me. Moral of the story, you know you better than anybody else, and all those random people trying to psychoanalyze your life, your decisions, and your existence doesn't make them experts. It just makes them people who are simply bored. Thought number 4. Jealousy's best friend is inadequacy. Because for someone to become jealous of your life and your achievements and what you have, it means that they need to be in a place where they want what you have, but they can't have what you have. So the easiest way to calm their egos is to somehow try to devalue your life, your decision, your opinions, and your reality. Because if they don't have what you have, and they don't want to have it, then what comes with that is peace, not hate. But if they want what you have and they can't have it, then the second best option is to actually construct some sort of story in their heads about you, your life, your decisions, your opinions, your friends, your families, every single choice that you ever made, that can actually calm their ego and say, hey, it's not that you're inadequate and you don't have all those things that you need to have in order to have this life. It's just that this other person is this and that and this bad thing and this hateful thing and so on and so forth. Let me be more specific. If somebody sees your life and your lifestyle and what you do and how you live, and they also want to have that kind of life and that kind of lifestyle, but their finances don't allow them to have that kind of lifestyle, it's so much easier to say to themselves that you have this kind of money and this kind of lifestyle because you did something shady, because somebody else is giving you the lifestyle, because this, because that, instead of acknowledging that they are not willing to work as hard as you, or that they are not making sane decisions when it comes to their partners and their relationships, that they are not willing to sacrifice short-term happiness and short-term satisfaction for the long-term gains. Moral of the story, congratulations, you have officially leveled up to a point where people can only talk you down instead of taking you down. Thought number 5, their opinion of you is not life-changing nor life-defining. I don't know who on earth has managed to convince humankind that other people's opinions about them are somehow their prophecies or their karma or whatever you want to call it. Because honestly, they're not. Even if it gets to you, which I get it, let it get to you for a day or 2 days or 3 days max. Then move on. Because just because somebody said something about you or voiced an opinion about you, that doesn't somehow make it your future unless you decide to make it your future. It doesn't make it true about you unless you decide to make it true about yourself. Moral of the story is that opinions become your reality when you decide to make them your reality, not when they are voiced on a random Tuesday night on a dinner table when nobody asked for this opinion to be voiced. Thought number 6. The only thing you need to fix is the internal and external block button. Because if somebody is so toxic and it makes you feel so overwhelmed and you can't just get yourself, you can't convince yourself to just ignore them and their petty opinions, then it's not time for more thinking, it's time for more blocking. Because while you can't control people's words, you can't control the access they have to you. So block them from your life, block them from your socials, and leave the table every time somebody mentions their name, because what can I say? Some people's names just pollute the air more than the collective of all companies. Moral of the story? Block. Thought number 7. They're not your friends. Don't ever try to make them. I used to have this ridiculously bad habit that every time I knew someone personally and that person, for whatever reason, didn't like me, or they thought less of me, or looked down on me, or whatever, instead of just paying them no attention, no regards whatsoever, I used to try, to do stuff for them and somehow try to make them like me. I used to try to help them and impress them in all those things. And while I can't begin to tell you the million ways in which this is absolutely wrong and absolutely toxic, what I will tell you is that there is no better revenge than success. There is no better payback than the day that those people will come looking for you, and they will ask you for a favor, and they'll ask you for a job, and they will pretend that they somehow know you in order to impress other people. There is no better revenge than becoming so happy, successful, and unbothered that people wish they had done things differently. Because while I do forgive, I don't forget. And the ship of opportunity has long sailed. Moral of the story? Tables turn, bridges burn, and rest assured, I was the one who set them on fire. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was indeed useful. And if it was, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, as it really helps the algorithm understand that this is indeed a valuable video. As per usual, you will find all of my links and all of my resources in the description box below. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video.